So greetings. Today we'll talk about adjacency concept in graph and the adjacency matrix that is used to represent the adjacencies in a graph. So first we'll look at undirected graph. I think I'll make a separate video on directed graphs. Okay, so in an undirected graph, if you look at this edge, which is colored green between vertex 1 and 4, we say that this edge is incident on vertices 1 and 4. So we say that 4 is adjacent to 1 and 1 is adjacent to 4. So in this, we see that the vertices 1 and 3 are not adjacent to each other. 1 is not adjacent to 3 or 3 is not adjacent to 1 because there is no edge connecting vertices 1 and 3. So how do we represent this in a data structure? So first we create a matrix, 4 rows and 4 columns for this graph. So there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 vertices for which we created 4 rows and 4 columns. Each row is labeled as per the label in the vertex. So this vertex is 0, therefore this label is 0. Here the vertex is 1, here the label is 1. And the columns. So this is vertex 0. We have vertex 0 here. This is labeled vertex 1. We have vertex 1 here. Now, if we look at this edge, we say that this edge is incident on vertices 0 and 1. Therefore, 1 is adjacent to 0. So we look at 0 row and 1 column. So 0 and 1. So we put a 1 here saying that 1 is adjacent to 0. Here we say that 2 is adjacent to 0 because of the red color edge that is incident on vertices 0 and 2. So therefore we look at row 0 and column 2 and we put a 1 there saying that 2 is adjacent to 0. Okay. Now 0 is adjacent to 1. Okay. So we look at row 1, column 0, row 1, column 0 and put a 1 there. Okay. Now we say that 3 is adjacent to 1 because this red edge is incident on vertices 1 and 3. So we look for row 1 and column 3, row 1 and column 3 and we put a 1 there saying that 3 is adjacent to 1. Here 0 is adjacent to 2. Therefore, we look at row 2 and column 0. So row 2, column 0 and we put a 1 here. Okay, because 0 is adjacent to 2. 3 is adjacent to 2. So 3 is adjacent to 2 because of this edge that is incident on vertices 2 and 3. So therefore, we look at row 2 and column 3 and then put a 1 here. Similarly, we look at row 3 and column 2 because 2 is adjacent to 3 and we put a 1 here. And then 1 here. We already put a 1 here because 1 is adjacent to 3. 1 is adjacent to 3. So that's how we create this adjacency matrix. Thank you.